What's up, you guys? So I'm here with an update on the divorce case between Tia Mowry and Cory Hardrict. Her legal name is Tia Mowry, not Tia Mowry Hardrict, as she's sometimes called in the media. It's just Tia Mowry and Cory Hardrict, and their case is getting ugly. It's getting ugly, and it appears from these documents that Cory Hardrict is challenging their prenuptial agreement. So let's get into it, you guys. All right, so there are new court records as of December 19th. There are new court records, and one thing I do appreciate about the way they're handling this case is that they have redacted all personal addresses, all personal information is redacted. And so let's just take a look at what's going on. This is the most important document that was filed recently. And this is the response from Cory to Tia's request for a divorce. This is his response. So you see his attorney listed at the top, Kristen Hiroshima, and you see her information, and you see it says she's the attorney for the respondent, Cory Hardrict. And this is going on in California, the Superior Court of California in the county of Los Angeles. And it's a response and request for dissolution/divorce of marriage. Now, number one, as far as their legal relationship, as we know, they are married. They are legally married. They're not common law husband and wife or anything like that. They're legally married, and number two, both have the right to file in California. They're residents of California, and they've been residents long enough to file in California. Number three, the date of their marriage was April 20th of 2008. Now, notice how it says the date of separation to be determined. There's no date of separation listed, and I personally think that's part of a strategy, but we'll just let it play out and see why it's not listed in the future. Now, as far as children, this is just statistical information. It lists that there are minor children, and it lists their names. Cree Taylor Hardrict, who was born in 2011, so he's 11 years old, and Cairo Tiana Hardrict, who was born in 2018, so she's 4 years old. Now, it says in Part D, it says, if there are minor children of petitioner and respondent, a completed declaration under Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act form must be attached, which it is. I'm not going to get into that form because, again, it just basically lists their names and birth dates, but it is attached. They are determining child custody, and they both requested joint physical and legal custody. So it doesn't seem to be a problem there. They both want the exact same thing, which is joint physical and legal custody. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Number 5, we're talking about the legal grounds for the divorce. It says legal grounds, and then they've ticked off item B. Respondent denies the grounds set forth in item 5 of the petition. Now, the petition was filed by Tia, and it's a petition for divorce for irreconcilable differences. So this is saying that Cory denies irreconcilable differences. The case has to play out for us to figure out and know why he denies it. I don't want to make any speculations, but I just want to let you guys know that he denies the grounds of irreconcilable differences as far as grounds for divorce. I think that's very interesting. Now, again, when it comes to the child custody and visitation, as I told you guys, you can see where joint is ticked off for legal custody and physical custody. That doesn't seem to be the issue. They both want joint legal and physical custody. So let's get into the financial portion of this, because this is where it gets messy. Number 8, spousal or domestic partner support. Cory ticked off B, terminate or end the court's ability to award support to the petitioner, which is Tia. He doesn't want Tia to have the right to request spousal support from him. He doesn't say that he wants to terminate or end the court's ability to award support to himself, the respondent. He only has ticked off Tia, the petitioner. Now, as far as separate property, this is where it also is getting messy. We're getting into a mess here because he's checked off confirm as separate property the assets and debts, and then he says according to proof at time of trial. So obviously they're not going to list all the assets and debts here, but when they have the trial, the divorce trial, he wants it to be determined at that point. The same goes with the community and quasi-community property. You see he has ticked off determine rights to community and quasi-community assets and debts. And he says, according to proof at time of trial. And this is why. It's in number 11, other requests. Determination, under C, determination of the validity of the prenuptial agreement dated April 14, 2008, and or that any provisions are unconscionable. Unconscionable. So it appears that he wants to challenge the prenuptial agreement, or at least review it to see if it is unconscionable, meaning it's not right, or reasonable, meaning it's excessive. He wants to determine if what he agreed to in the prenuptial agreement is not right. If it's not right, it's not reasonable, or it's excessive. This kind of reminds me of what Todd Tucker was saying when he signed that prenuptial agreement with Candy. He was saying that some of the things seemed excessive. They didn't seem right. They didn't seem reasonable, but he still signed it. So it sounds like it may have been a similar situation with Cory. We don't know what the prenuptial agreement says. In the cases I've covered on my channel as far as divorces, I've never seen the actual text of the prenuptial agreement listed in the court case. It always says confidential. So I assume that's also going to be confidential, that we're not going to see the actual text of the prenuptial agreement. But whatever the text says, it seems that Cory is questioning if it's excessive, if it's too much, if he agreed to something that is not right, to something that is excessive. And at this point, we don't know what he agreed to. But I just want to give you guys an update and let you know what is going on with the case. It appears that Cory wants the prenuptial agreement reviewed to determine if what he agreed to is reasonable. And he also doesn't agree that the reason for the divorce, the grounds for divorce, irreconcilable differences, he also doesn't agree to that according to these court records. And you can see his signature here. So this is the case. I like to keep my videos separate as far as the case information and then the rumors. So as far as the infidelity rumors, we can review them in another video, but this is an update on the case. You guys leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think it's possible that the prenuptial agreement he signed was basically too much? If any of you guys have ever tried to get a prenuptial agreement and been told by an attorney that what you're asking for is too much, leave a comment below, because that does happen. But at the same time, there are attorneys who will write very strict prenuptial agreements, and there are spouses that will sign them. So I don't know if that was the case here, but it looks like Cory is questioning that. You guys leave a comment, share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.